Hi, it's Kimberly. Welcome back to the Lumen Guru. I have your energy update for the January 31st eclipse 2018, and I'm going to get to that in just a second. Thanks for the new subscribers, and to those of you who aren't familiar with me, I am a soul coach and intuitive advisor helping twin flames and those along the ascension journey. If you want to check out the website or the services I offer, you can do so on the illuminguru.com. Just one quick announcement, the 3-week intensive program, which is a self-mastery program for twin flames, I had slated, we did one in the fall, and I had slated one to start with the eclipses in January, but it just didn't have the participation. The first program filled up, so Spirit was just showing me, you know what, you still need to hold it, but you got to hold it after the eclipses. So I felt very guided to move it, and so I pushed it up. So it's going to start now on February 18th and go through March 10th. I think one of the reasons that it didn't fill up this time is because we're not ready for that. You know, the collective isn't ready for that information right now. We've got to deal with some things that are coming up, and I'm going to talk about that in this forecast. So it will be good timing after the eclipses take place for us to conduct this program. Like I said, it's 3-week intensive. You've got individual sessions, group coaching. You learn the tools of clearing negativity, alignment, and how to be unconditional, how to harness your power, all sorts of things. You can actually view all of the coursework under classes and workshops on my website. So please sign up. Please sign up as you feel guided to, and bookmark it. If you're not sure yet, just bookmark it and come back to it, because I have a feeling we're going to have a great group, and this program is awesome. So I can't recommend it enough, and I hope that you'll join us. I wanted to say that these cards, the spread that I've pulled, I'm only using the Wisdom of the Oracle deck by Colette Baron Reid. And the reason why is because I love this deck, and some reason for these energies, they're just showing me this is all we need to illustrate. The pictures are very, very, very vivid and beautiful, and the messages feel very powerful. So I think I'm supposed to give you an oracle reading. So here we go. So Divine Feminine, your energies around this eclipse. What's happening for the feminine is we see a regeneration. Okay, and you're going, what? I thought that the masculine just went through a rebirth. Yes, he did. But you are going through a regeneration, which is a renewal, which means shedding layers, which means shedding old skin, which means what I really feel like, especially with this fire energy, because it is a full blue moon and a lunar eclipse in Leo. So we've got the fire energy. You see this molten rock coming up here. This fire energy is what is giving way to this rebirth, okay? And this rebirth is about a choice, and she is choosing her power. So as we see, and as I've discussed in the most recent videos, we have the feminine energy rising on the planet. And so what's happening right now for the Divine Feminine who are in twin flame connections is that she's really making a choice about where her power needs to be and ways that she has possibly been controlled or manipulated in the past. Things that no longer align with her values. She's really taking an honest look now through this eclipse. And it's almost like she may not want to see it. She may not want to see the truth, but it is glaring. So I encourage you to ask yourself, is there something that's glaring you in the face that you're having difficulty looking at? And then take a minute and meditate on it and allow yourself to look at it, because there is something that there's like I feel like a decision that needs to be made from within to align with your values, to align with your integrity, to speak your truth, and to walk away if necessary in any situation that integrity is out of balance. And this is happening. These departures are happening. But what happens through the departures is it gives way to new doors opening, and not just a renewal of inner energy, but truly like a new life. And this new life is one of alignment and being in your power and This is very powerful energy. So if any of you are dealing with some situation that's coming up, I feel like, again, that's a key word. It's not something new. It's things that keep coming up, that have been trying to get your attention. And it's saying to you, now is do or die, right? Now is time. You've got to make this shift. We've got another shift, I feel like, of consciousness, shift of timelines. And taking the elevated timeline means giving way to a very, I feel like, prosperous and open and expansive new world. And that may mean new people coming in, that may mean new opportunities, that may mean just like being able to spread your wings and work on your mission. During eclipses, things do come to an end. So I do feel like some things are going to come to an end for now. Like, you've got to make the choice. And I feel like the feminine is choosing herself over any toxic situation. This could be with your twin flame. This could be with someone that you work with who's not respecting you. This could be with a karmic partner, with a friendship. This is coming up across the board. And I also get the feeling that this molten lava here that we see, it feels like what the guides are showing me is it feels like that, like the volcano erupted, now everything's cooling off and it gives way to new life. But we're not there yet. The volcano is erupting. So if you have conflict or you feel like you're being controlled or manipulated, especially by the masculine, because these are current energies and we're still going to feel them for a while in 2018 until they start to settle. So you're going to maybe feel riled by the masculine. You may feel, and it's this fire energy stirring things up, getting you to pay attention, to say, is he mistreating me? Is he, is this in alignment with my values right now? Do I need to walk away from this? Do I need to set boundaries? And, in a volcanic eruption and an earthquake, you're not going to have, beautiful rainbows popping out right away. Okay. So it's going to feel a little unearthing and ugly. It may be that you're met with a lot of resistance, but I do feel like if you are really true to yourself, it will go better than you expect. And you've got to focus on the best outcomes, the most positive outcomes, especially if you're not used to setting healthy boundaries and it's your time to do it. So focus on positive outcomes, staying true to yourself in setting those boundaries, whether you need to walk away or you need to set some healthy boundary because of behaviors. Do that now. This is the time to do it, because it's like, again, it's a glaring truth. There's something that is coming up for the feminine that she cannot ignore anymore. And this is a bit of yang energy, and that makes sense coming with the fire energy, because when we see the yang card, there is fire in it, and because it's about taking action. So it is time to take action. The difference between taking action now and maybe like 6 months ago for the feminine is that she's in a more healed state. So she can take action from a better place of alignment. And that means there won't be defense, and there won't be as much defense. There won't be fear-based motive. So it'll be more clear. But that's not to say that the feminine isn't still purging stuff, and that can be a part of this as well. And so old triggers might come up. If you read Cassidy Kane's Twin Flames 1111 blog this week, she's talking about major blow-ups because of the cosmic different things happening in the cosmos with the asteroid Lilith and so on and so forth. So read her blog, because you may be feeling that. You may have had blowups or blowouts or fights or whatnot, and this energy, there's a reason for them, okay? It's so that things can come to a head and find a new way of being. This could also mean a new way of being within your twin flame connection. This may be like an unearthing within the connection. It doesn't necessarily mean that the feminine has to pull away, but she will if it's not in alignment with her values, and she needs to. But there's also, I feel like, a hope here and a possibility in which, through a little bit more purging and through some old things coming up, that both the masculine and the feminine can make a new beginning together, one in which union is possible. But for some, they will be like separations in which true alignment will be achieved. And that's pretty huge over the next 6 months. So let's leave that for that. We'll come back to that a bit. So underneath the surface are the fates. And this is about, I feel like, not wanting to let go. Not wanting to let go and trust the universe. And what the guides are saying for all of us is to trust that there is a bigger design. There is a grand design. There is a bigger picture for everything that's happening. It's very important that you listen to your inner voice now. Because if something is tugging at you and it's a truth that you haven't wanted to look at, the universe can't bring to you what is in alignment for you while you are still in disbelief and kind of stuck back there. Maybe attached to things that don't need to be attached to because you're afraid, right? It's fear. Fear of letting go. Fear of abandonment. Fear of the outcome, fear of not having control of the timeline. And they're saying, trust. The universe will work it out. It will bring it through separations. Twins will begin to reach alignment and come into union. I feel this very much so around May and June and midway through the year. And it's funny because 2 years ago, there was a big wave of us around that time, I included, in which the separations were really prevalent. They were happening. And it's amazing because I feel like the first and second waivers are going to have a true chance for union in May or June. So, and some of you will meet life partners, and some of you will meet soulmates, and it's about like getting out of your own way and letting the universe do the work for you, because either way, once you're in alignment, all good things are up ahead. Magic and mission and flourishing and expansion and love, the type of love that you deserve and desire is on the way. Okay. And by the way, when I split the two, when I say, oh, you may be a twin coming into union, or you may be a twin in separation, or some twins are coming to union, some are meeting their, soulmates, life partners that aren't their twin flames. Here's the thing. This is all pre-designated by soul contracts, and you know what resonates for you and which one you are. You know that, and it will reveal itself. It will unveil itself, I feel, over the next few months. So let's go over to the masculine. Okay, so the masculine is wrestling with himself. He's wrestling over being flexible. He is, during this eclipse, going to go into this, temptation for need for freedom and not to be committed. You may see him almost outwardly digress a little bit. We've said this before, and masculine goes through this periodically, but it is coming up again. But I feel like there's a piece that is winning over, and the piece that's winning over is his commitment to love. And it's because he's going to learn new ways. Okay, so if he was the one in your life that was trying to control or manipulate, or if you felt like he has or had the power over you or something like that, this is where he's starting to make some adjustments, and it's almost like he's starting to give in to forgiveness and give in to love and give in to the feminine. And I feel like this bending, this backwards bend, is him also recognizing his own, values and boundaries and morals and all of that. And sometimes I think he threatens from a place of feeling stifled. And so he's working on this, okay? So he's working on clearing that fear-based reaction and fear-based, running and fear-based behaviors. And so it's requiring him to, one, get in alignment with his own values, and to open his heart to love and move towards the feminine. And he's still a little torn. This is about him going, okay, I can do my own life and have my freedom and independence, and I can love and love deeply and be committed. Okay, those are two different concepts for him. So he's trying to find that balance, right? That balance to be flexible. This is new for him. And so it's coming up during this eclipse. And how we might see that is he may start setting old fear-based boundaries. He may start manipulating or controlling or things like that. But then you'll see him soften. And then you'll see him start to bend, And then you'll start to see some shifts in the way that he normally handles things. And so, masculine, if you're watching this, the best advice that I can give to you is listen to your heart at this time. Because in doing that, you'll find better balance, period. Like, you're going to find your balance if you're listening to your heart. The thing that's throwing you off kilter is wanting to go back to the old ways, is wanting to go back into fear, is wanting to go back into all those fear-based feelings and thoughts. So, so below the flexible card for the masculine is this deep knowing. And it's because he's starting to be more flexible and move towards love and flow that way, because he knows that, the feminine is his true love, and he knows that it's a mirror, the relationship, and he knows that there is going to need to be some sacrifice, and there are some things that truths that he's going to have to look at within himself during this eclipse. It's a choice. He's also making a choice. And this is going to unfold over the next 6 months. It may not be right away. And I have to say, for the masculine, I really feel like it's more towards April, May, June that he is choosing. Right now we see him swaying, but he's choosing to listen to his deep knowing at that point. Okay? So remember that. It's in there, though, and he's feeling it more and more. Okay, so I didn't do the crowning card, so let me go back and do that. So crowning for the feminine is the Treasure Island card, which means getting to the good stuff, right? And so we've moved up from these low vibrational, fear-based energies into these higher vibrational energies. And we are getting to the good stuff as we get out of our own way, as we really look at what needs to be addressed and assessed in our lives, right? Addressed and assessed, because that's kind of like what we're doing right now with getting in alignment with our values and our self-worth. So they're saying there is so much up ahead for you, feminine. So many good, amazing things, blossoming, growth, prosperity, love. Everything is going to come to you when you get in full alignment with yourself. So those of you who still are working on that, book a Harnessing Your Divine Power session with me, or take part in the intensive, because this is going to be an amazing year for you when you get in full alignment. and really get out of your own way, right? And that means getting the negativity and the fear-based energies out and being really truthful about what's in alignment for you. So for the masculine, we have an 11 card, which I love, and it's by the book. And this is about him moving away from the by the book mentality, right? Like the things that were ingrained in him. Or I know for my twin, and I'm sure for many, it sounds like a complete attachment to it's got to be this way, you know, it's got to be this way, or you're this way, right? And it's not like that. The by the book is reminding us that we can move away from things that were taught to us, right? Especially the masculine right now. He's being reminded of that it doesn't have to be, you don't have to be of a traditional school of thought. He may be exploring more expansive ways of thinking and being, philosophies, religions, things like that, and going deeper into spirituality, which is moving away from by the book or following the tribe, right? Like, this is about the masculine, like, asserting himself and saying, no, I actually want to go this way, and I want to do this because it feels in alignment for me, and this feels good to me, and not going to do it because of, you know, what everyone else thinks, right? And many of the masculine made decisions in the past, like contingent upon what others would think, or following the suit of what had been taught to him. So he's breaking that mold now, and we're going to see that more and more over the next 6 months, moving away from going by the book. This could be also that you see some of the masculine coming around to twin flame concepts and really embracing, like I said, new schools of thought, new ways of being. And this goes hand in hand with the being flexible. Remember I said he's stuck in fear-based energy, things that were ingrained in him. It's his turn now to shed that stuff from his ancestral bloodline, things that he inherited, you know, his wounding, all of that. He's really going to make some pretty dynamic shifts. And so we will see that over the next 6 months with him. But particularly this stuff is going to come up now. So you're going to see some swaying by the book, breaking the mold, you know, coming from a place of fear to coming from a place of love. You're going to see him go back and forth, but know that there is deep knowing inside of him. Okay, about what's real and about love and about how he feels towards the feminine. So we have, for the shared energy cards, and I will try to wrap this up now as it's going along, but we have Observer. And this is interesting because I feel like there are choices that the feminine and the masculine are making from within. Right? I said, like, the feminine, she's making the choice to see the truth, to get into alignment, to claim her power. The masculine is making the choice to step deeper into love, to hear the truth of what he knows intuitively and in his heart, and to step away from, you know, going by the book and following suit. So in those choices, we must become observer of self. And I really feel like this is what this means. It's saying lift out and observe yourself and where your intuitive reactions are for both the feminine and masculine. What feels good? What feels yucky? What have you been ignoring? What is calling at you? What feels light? What do you need to move towards? This is a time to listen because information is being just filtered into us. Illumination is at its height, and the information we receive now is very important for us so that we can move forward and make new beginnings. And although some things may end, some cycles, some old energies, some relationships, you know, there may be separations, things like that. Although things may end for now, it's going to give way to so much more. Like I said with the feminine, we've got Treasure Island here. And so what's coming up crowning for the for the pair is the tribe card. So this is also about the choice for, you know, the masculine moving away from being by the book. He's finding, he doesn't have to follow everyone else. He's finding his real tribe, right? His soul tribe. He's stepping into more spiritual ways of being, and whether he's simply taking a yoga class, or maybe doing something more spiritually based, or maybe just researching. He may be looking around at more spiritual things online, and just, like I said, like new information is going to come to him through the TV even, or movies. And it's going to like create light bulb moments for him. Talk about illumination. And that will be him kind of finding a tribe that he's been disconnected from, that he didn't know was his tribe, right? There's going to be resonance, and he's going to feel it. So that's really cool. And for the feminine, it's just about her really opening up to her mission and being of service, and, you know, finding the tribe of her soul sisters and those that are walking this journey. So I'm going to hold another Twin Flame support group call soon, and we usually have our soul family. We all end up being soul family on the call, of course. And in the intensive program, when we do the group calls, that's an amazing way to meet with your soul tribe and to feel supported along this journey. And then underneath the situation, or underneath for the twins, we have chop wood, which is, you know, it's about, for me, this is more than just like, you know, doing your work and staying focused, and prosperity and things coming as you stay focused, because that's really important now for both twin flames. But it's also about, I feel like cleaning up the dead wood, right? Getting rid of what's not serving us anymore, and cleaning up and tending to what we need to tend to. This will be the next few months of, we're going to have to tend to some things in our personal lives and from within us, where we can hear the truth within us. And this is very much what this card represents. So bottom of the deck, I have to be fair. Okay. And that's also an 11 card. It's number 38. And yeah, there's a sound. I hope you guys don't hear the feedback on the computer, because my computer is making a sound. But to be fair, it is really, really talking about this commitment to our choice. It is about justice being served. So if you feel, feminine, like you have been done wrong, and you feel like, you know, you've been controlled or manipulated, this is about you getting back into alignment with yourself, and so that everything can balance out and the universe can take care of it, as we saw with the Fates card. And it's the same thing, you know, when we look at this card for the masculine, I feel like it's more about, is he being fair in terms of, you know, giving his commitment, giving his focus to where he needs to place his focus, and to this connection, and in getting real about what his true priorities are in his life. I want to read you just very quickly what that says, the To Be Fair card, like some of the different messages that Colette Baron-Reid interprets. So it's about balance, justice, the need to consider options, mutual benefit, the law of cause and effect, right? This is, in speaking of that, this is also like the masculine learning, like cause and effect. That's, you know, certain reactions or ways of that he was acting or reacting, you know, what that means, and how can he control that and get into a more authentic space, so that it's in alignment with what he truly desires, rather than just like this ego-based stuff. But the overall message is that is of fairness. And so if you feel any part of your life, if you feel an injustice is being served up for you, it could be at work, it could be within your twin flame connection, it could be with, like I said, a soul friend or karmic partner, or even a soulmate. This is a time where you must it says you may observe an injustice, and you may see it, she says, righted and fairly redressed. Perhaps you come to the rescue of someone else or call to answer for a personal slight. You will be amazed by the sense of power that surges through you when you stand up for yourself and others. So you are being asked to stand up for yourself, I feel like, especially the feminine. Okay? This card also indicates a good time to advocate for others who are less fortunate. So choose your cause, and they're saying and commit. You can make a difference. She says one thing is for certain, is if fairness is your intention, the situation will be resolved for the highest good of all concerned through acts of kindness, empathy, and courage. And so that's pretty huge. And that's fairness is getting in alignment with your authenticity, right? It's speaking your truth. It's allowing your trust and faith in the universe and the way things are playing out, and you're allowing justice to be served rather than trying to strangle the energy or control the way things are going. And I also feel like it's about allowing your twin to do his thing and be himself, and to do her thing and to be herself. It's important that we are fair, that we see both sides, that we understand where both our parties are coming from. And sometimes we get caught up in the sensitivities that we're feeling, and we can't fathom how the other person feels. And we're being asked right now to allow for that, because it is a mirror that we will learn from and grow from. And that is going to require compassion and empathy. And it may require a bit of even tough love if you're setting a boundary. But remember what I said about boundaries in the last video. If you're setting boundaries out of alignment with yourself, you might as well just not set it. Or if you're setting your boundary from like a defensive place or egoic place, it's not going to hold. It's not going to stick. It's not going to work. So remember to get in alignment first with your values and all of that, and then set your boundaries. But do so fairly, and do so lovingly, and do so from a place of authenticity. I saw a quote the other day, and I'll leave you with this, and it said, I'm sure you've seen something similar, but it caught my attention because it said, you can't be concerned or worry for someone's feelings while you're setting a healthy boundary. And that's pretty true. Okay. So, but you can set your boundaries from a place of really solid intention and integrity and truth and love. It's when we get into, reactive boundary setting or fear-based or egoic boundary setting, that's when it kind of goes awry. So watch that and know that sometimes you have to make a tough call to set a really good boundary. And at other times, it's just, you're just going to have to soften into it and relax and speak your truth. And everyone's at different places along their journey, but most of us are not seasoned boundary setters, so we have to practice it. So I'll leave you with that. So we have lots of truth coming up that's tugging at us from within. We've got regeneration, renewal, really good things up ahead, allowance, allowing the fates and allowing the universe to do its job. We see the masculine going through major thresholds of awakening over the next 6 months. But still there is purging on both sides. And there are some harsh truths that are going to come up that we're going to have to face right now. So, but they are for our highest good. And I want you to remember that. So take care. And I look forward to working with you. See you soon. Bye.